What's up, guys? Welcome to the Real Talk with Riley. I'm your host, Riley Barker, and this is a show where I find people with interesting jobs and ask them the questions we're all dying to know. Today, I'm here with ERIN Robinson, who is the president of True Potential, a company that helps people gain a new perspective, make meaningful shifts, and reach their maximum potential, resulting in improved productivity and performance. Not only does she run True Potential, but she has also held some of the most prominent jobs in the sales industry. So without further ado, please welcome my guest, ERIN Robinson. Hi, ERIN.
Hey, Riley, it's great to see you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good. So my first question for you is, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit about myself through the journey, through several different jobs. And I promise you, Riley, this will be under 2 minutes. But when I graduated from Colorado State University, I actually used my degree for the first 2 years in restaurant resort management. And after recognizing that my passion for skiing was the only reason I wanted to work at a ski resort, and I didn't get to ski at all, that led me on my journey to sales. And ultimately, through a lot of different sales jobs, I ended up in pharmaceuticals, which had nothing to do with my degree. But I ended up in pharmaceuticals for over 20 years. And through that, I recently had an opportunity to break off on my own and start True Potential.
Yes, and I have seen True Potential up close and personal, and it is an amazing thing. So we're going to dive more into that. What made you want to start True Potential?
Well, I was fortunate enough to have a lot of great leaders and some leaders that I would consider great at teaching me what not to do.
Mhm.
And as each year went by in corporate, I recognized that really the thing that I loved the most when I was the most inspired was when I was helping others uncover their true potential. So I took the time to uncover my why, and it's really simple. My why is to help others uncover their true potential so they can live an inspired and an empowered life and hopefully make this world a better place. So
I love
that's
that.
what it's about.
Thank you. I also love that too because I think when you have a lot of purpose and you have a lot of drive behind what you're doing, you feel a lot more inspired and wanting to do the work that you're doing.
Absolutely.
Um, okay, so my biggest thing with True Potential has been you taught me a lot about my personality type and skill set and how I can work on those parts and better them, and also the things that I'm lacking, I can get help and where I can improve. So,
Mhm.
what is the most important thing in knowing your personality type, and why is it important to know your personality type and skill set?
Well, first, you're not lacking, Riley. Okay, like I've taught you that. um, but no, thank you. I'm glad that you've grasped onto that. But knowing your personality type, I'm going to keep this short because I'm so passionate about it. I can go on for days. But the more you can recognize where your natural strengths are and areas that might get you into trouble, which I know because over the years I didn't learn from mistakes and I kept making mistakes. But when I finally took the time to learn more about my personality type and accepted myself and who I was and embraced it, one,
Yeah.
I became more authentic. I stopped apologizing and I recognized that my relationships were becoming healthier because not only did I recognize my personality type, I was able to flex my communication to work better with others, personally and professionally. And
Yeah.
through that whole process, my emotional intelligence increased. And I think you probably know what they say, the smartest person in the boardroom does not have the highest IQ. They have a high level of emotional intelligence. So for me, the more you know your personality type, the better life you can live and the more you can contribute and give back to the community and to the world.
I absolutely love that. I've learned a lot about my personality type through you and through research and the studies we do and the tests we take. And it's actually one of the most beneficial things that I would have never thought of doing, but it helps me. Even the little bit that I've done helps me immensely. So I love that you're really diving into that. Okay, so a big part of my show is helping the younger generation learn about jobs, but also learn how to get jobs and how to improve. And so, what's a number one thing you would say employers look for when interviewing a potential candidate?
I can't answer that specific question because I don't know what other people are looking for. Everyone is looking for something different. But what
Right.
I can answer is the question that you said is, helping others potentially find a job. And the number one thing that I would say is, and it might sound cheesy, but I'm telling you, it's the truth. Be your authentic self. Don't flex so much that you're going for a job, that you have to change who you are. And
Yeah.
in order to understand what you want, you've really got to understand your why. And the younger that you can recognize that, and it will shift and change throughout the years, the more you're going to be able to find a job that fits you. So when you go to that interview, you'll be so passionate and excited. You'll be your more authentic self. So
Yeah.
that is the number one thing that I would tell people. Embrace who you are, own it, love it, and enjoy it. And hopefully find a path that doesn't feel like a job. It feels like something that's going to inspire you and empower you every day.
I love that. That's amazing. Okay, so another big thing about you is that you worked in the sales industry and you had some pretty big jobs. So, what's the biggest thing you've learned? You've obviously had a lot of learning from there, but what do you think is one of the biggest things you've learned about the sales and business industry in your years of experience?
Listen, you've got to listen more than you talk. And I think it's incredibly important for relationships. It's incredibly important for business. And I did a lot of talking early on in my career and not enough listening. And the advice that I would give to people is ask a lot of questions and listen and learn. And if you don't know something, don't act like you know it. Just ask, just be truthful and say, I don't know it. But that would be my number one thing is learn the skill of active listening and ask a ton of questions. And if you feel like you're talking too much, shut up, zip it, and absorb the things around you. And I'll tell you, you'll be a better business person, you'll be a better leader, and you'll have more fun.
I think that's really important too because I know sometimes with my personality type individually is I like to talk a lot, but I didn't learn anything by talking. Learned a lot by listening. So I love that. Okay, and then my last question for you is why is it important for you to share your knowledge and wisdom with the younger generation?
Well, I think you heard me say earlier, I was one of those types that didn't always learn from my mistakes. I kept repeating them. So I've been fortunate enough to fail a lot and make a lot of mistakes. So with that, I have learned so much through the years. And for me to be able to give back to other people and when they fall and me being able to be there and let them know that they're going to be able to be resilient and get back on that horse or whatever you want to say is so incredibly important. And you are the future. You're the future of our country. You're the future of the world. And so I'm extremely passionate about helping others. So selfishly, it's something that it energizes me and something that motivates me. But also I love to just be able to help other people embrace their true potential
Yeah.
and find a path that works for them. And if you can find it the earlier, the better. And I think everyone will just live a happier life. And the more happy people that we have in our society, the more they give back, the more that they contribute. So my whole drive to help other people is from a bigger picture perspective. Yes, I want that person to find their path, and I would love to be a part of that. But I also recognize that in helping them, they're going to give back more to their community, and that means a lot to me.
Absolutely. Well, I think you're doing some of the most important work and helping a lot of us younger people find what works for us and lead and live a more happy lifestyle that's also going to make us better humans for the world. So I really appreciate the work you do, but I appreciate you coming on my show even more. So thank you so much for being here. If you guys want to see more of Erin, I will link all of her Instagram, her websites, all of that below, and you can see more of her. So thank you for taking the time to talk to me, Erin. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, Riley. And if you have any friends or any of your peers in school that want to take the personality test, I'm willing to help anyone free of charge. I just love doing it. They can certainly reach out to me and they can get my contact information through you. So thanks for having me and keep doing what you do. I'm loving the show.
Thank you so much. And you guys heard it here first. Don't be afraid to reach out to people. If you want to learn more about your personality and skill set, I'm telling you, it can help you so much. So text me or email me. All of my contacts are on my website, and I will give you links to Erin. So I think that's all. Thanks, Erin.
Thank you. Bye. Great seeing you.
You too.